Welcome to Prime 9, the countdown show that covers the very best in baseball. Guaranteed to start arguments, not end. In this episode, it's the 9 greatest postseason catches. Why 9? That's baseball. 9 players, 9 innings. Prime 9. Although catches dating back to the first World Series in 1903 were candidates for this program, we had to keep it to those we could actually show, for a still picture of a great catch only tells you so much. Our top 9 postseason catches are based in part on the athleticism of the play.
And it is Rudy! Joe Rudy grabs it at extra bases against the wall.
We also considered the importance of the catch the moment it was made.
Leaping, and he made the catch!
And since the World Series has been around far longer than the League Championship or Division Series, you can assume that most of our catches come from the Fall Classic. The postseason has featured many of the greatest defensive players to ever take the field. So let's find out which one of them made the final cut, starting with number 9 on Prime 9. It's no surprise that Tommy Agee is on our list. The question is, for which catch?
Agee made 2 catches that the world still remembers. They are 2 of the great catches in World Series history.
Catch number 1 came in the 4th inning of Game 3 of the '69 World Series. Runners at the corners, 2 out.
Hit high and deep to center field. Agee was pulled around the right.
Hendricks was a strict pull hitter, and he hit this ball to the opposite field.
Racing hard is Agee.
I said, I'm going to run right through that fence to get this ball.
What a grab! Agee saves 2 runs.
If that ball would have hit the wall, I would have probably killed myself because I was going to run right through that fence.
He started in right center and ran all the way over there and backhanded a ball that was ready to come through his web.
Look at the backhand stab of the glove. A lot of white showing. Look at that ball.
Agee's snow cone catch likely saved 2 runs and brought the sold-out Shea Stadium crowd to its feet. But it did not make our list. For Agee's 7th inning catch was even more impressive.
Lightning's not supposed to strike twice in the same spot.
The bases are loaded. 2 men are out.
This is why the Miracle Mets were called the Miracle Mets.
And it is a fly ball. It'll be tough to get to. Agee is going.
I didn't know if it was going to catch it or not. I know it was a long ways apart.
Agee dives, and he makes the catch.
He went a long way for both of those with 2 outs and 5 guys on base. That's a lot of runs that didn't score that could have.
Never before has one man made 2 such dramatic and crucial catches in one game.
When you make catches like that, you just got to be there at the right time.
Well, Agee's impeccable timing helped the Mets to a World Series victory over the heavily favored Orioles.
The Mets are the world champions.
And Tommy Agee lives on in Mets lore as the man who made 2 miracle catches in the same game.
Well, the World Series creates heroes, and Agee has been the hero of the day for the New York Mets.
The Minnesota Twins had just lost 3 straight games to the Braves in the '91 World Series and now trailed 3 games to 2. They needed a hero in Game 6 and knew just whom to turn to.
In center field, number 34, Kirby!
I remember I hit a BP that day, and I was swinging the bat exceptionally well. I was hitting line drives, doing exactly what I said I was going to do, and came to the clubhouse, and I called in a meeting. I said, guys, don't worry about it today. You guys jump on my back. I'm going to carry you today.
Kirby had already driven home a run, but with the Twins up by 2 in the 3rd, it was his glove that would star.
Here's Ronnie Gant as Erickson sets and checks the runner.
I thought I hit that ball good enough, but Kirby Puckett made an incredible catch out there against the plexiglass.
He corks it to left center and chased by Puckett.
When he hit it, I said, oh, that's not going out. I got a chance.
Deep to left center. Back is Puckett. He's at the fence.
And time I jump and everything just right, man, and got up there and brought it back.
Oh, what a catch!
This guy just jumps up and catches the ball. It's just unbelievable.
That fence is 13 feet high.
Wow.
If you look at the replay, I'd rounded first base. I was halfway to second.
Atlanta has to start wondering, wait a minute, maybe this isn't our night.
Try to rise to the occasion, man, and be the best today. Glad it turned out like it did.
Kirby's leaping catch did preserve the lead, and in the 11th, his bat won the game.
to deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Game 6, it was the Kirby Puckett show. Kirby kind of single-handedly won the game.
I told the guys to jump on, guys. I'm going to carry us today. I guess they jumped on and I delivered.
In a series filled with turning points, Kirby's catch stood out.
That catch right there won the series for the Twins.
Oh, Kirby Puckett with a great grab.
Welcome back to Prime 9, featuring the greatest postseason catches. We've made our case for 9 and 8, which means it's time for number 7. By the end of his 18-year career, everyone knew Willie McGee.
McGee has done it again.
After all, he'd won 3 Gold Gloves and was an MVP.
Listen to the crowd with the MVP chant.
But in the '82 Fall Classic, he was a first-year player hitting at the bottom of the Cardinals' order.
I came from the Brewers, so I've talked to a lot of them. They weren't taking him real seriously. He was the rookie. They didn't respect him that much.
Well, he certainly earned their respect in Game 3 when Willie became the 3rd rookie in World Series history to homer twice in one game.
It's gone. Home run McGee. His 2nd of the game.
But it was Willie's run prevention, not creation, that got him in this show.
Bottom of the 9th inning, and for the Milwaukee Brewers, they've come down to the last glass. 6-2 St. Louis.
But with a man on first and the major's home run leader at the plate, the Cardinals' 4-run lead was in danger.
Gorman, it's a high fly ball.
When Gorman hit the ball, I said, oh, man.
They're in a fly ball to deep left.
And then I saw Willie McGee running it down.
McGee to the wall.
It just seemed like everything was just slow motion. I mean, I can still see that ball just suspended in air.
I just remember Willie McGee coming out of nowhere and reaching over the fence.
McGee jumps and he
Just waited for me to get myself in position, and then it fell in my glove.
He caught it high up above the fence.
To be able to judge the ball, find the wall, it takes a very, very special person to be able to make those types of catches.
And McGee is doing everything to become the star.
This star's brilliance helped St. Louis win that game and carry the Redbirds to the title.
A swing and a miss, and that's a winner! A World Series winner for the Cardinals!
The significance of Willie's catch was not lost on his teammates or on Willie himself.
The timing, the situation dictated the importance of it to me and to my team.
When you think of the A's in the early 70s, a lot of talented and colorful characters come to mind. Joe Rudi may not be one of them.
Joe Rudi was the consummate good player who always played in the shadow of even better players.
But Game 2 of the '72 World Series put Rudi in the spotlight, starting with his bat.
Joe Rudi's blast stretches the A's lead to 2-0.
Oakland maintained that lead into the 9th, and Catfish Hunter came out to finish what he started. But trouble loomed.
The line drive, Campanella's over his glove, and Perez keeps the Reds alive.
The tying run now came to the plate in the person of Dennis Menken, and he hit a shot.
There's a long drive to deep left.
He hits a ball that looks like it's either over the wall, off the wall, but we're in trouble.
That ball going, and it is caught by Rudi!
I was just as surprised as anybody that I caught the ball because I really did think it was out.
What a grab by Joe Rudi!
I should have doubled Perez off, but I was worried that they had thought that I had trapped it.
Looked like he almost pressed the ball against the wall, but he had it in the webbing of his glove.
So I held the ball up, showing that I caught it, and threw it back, and we just missed doubling him off.
And they nearly double up Perez at first.
That catch really turned that game around for us and really gave us the impetus to win the World Series.
The A's would indeed win their first of 3 straight titles, and Rudi fittingly closed it out. For his Game 2 catch remains an indelible image from that series.
And there's a fielding gem of the 1972 World Series.
Welcome back to Prime 9, featuring the greatest postseason catches. Tommy Agee and Kirby Puckett checked in with some World Series snags, and so did Willie McGee and Joe Rudi, which means it's time for number 5. Minnesota's Bob Allison was a 3-time All-Star. In just 13 seasons, he hit 256 home runs.
And defensively, Allison continues his spectacular fielding.
But in Game 2 of the '65 World Series, Bob took a back seat to a classic pitching matchup.
Today, in the second game of the series, Jim Cox and Sandy Koufax.
But even these pitchers were overshadowed at the start by Mother Nature. For baseball weather, this was not.
It's a gray, damp day.
A helicopter was brought in to try to dry out the outfield and really presented some lousy conditions for a baseball game.
Curveball, hit back to Koufax.
It was a pitcher's duel.
That'll do it.
And through 4 innings, no score.
We got a ball game today. Minnesota nothing, the Dodgers nothing.
Then something happened that trumped both the pitching and the weather.
Dodgers came to bat in the top of the 5th inning. Ron Fairley led off with a single.
So there's the first hit for the Dodgers.
Fairley's single brought up Jim Lefevre.
Lefevre hits a drive to the left field corner.
Right off the bat, this is a screaming line drive down the left field line.
Line drive down the left field line.
But here comes Bobby Allison.
Hooking from Allison, who dives, makes a circus catch.
And Bob Allison made one of the great catches in World Series history.
We just got to look at that one again.
The left shoulder dips. The very last moment, the glove goes out.
And remember, he's running on wet grass.
Makes the catch and skids and skids and skids.
Watch him slide. Great play.
Looking back on it, Allison's sliding snag proved to be a game changer.
There was a man on first when Lefevre came up, so had that ball landed, you would have had men on second and third, and the Dodgers would have cracked Kopp before they cracked Koufax. It is, I think, a very underrated World Series catch.
With 8 Gold Gloves and 4 All-Star selections, Jim Edmonds did not need a great postseason catch to prove his worth as a center fielder.
Oh, he made a catch! Unbelievable!
He covered so much ground, was not afraid to run into a wall, and maybe even run through a wall.
And he makes another catch! The wall comes apart, but he grabs the ball.
But of all the catches this human highlight reel made, the one that had the greatest impact took place in the 2004 NLCS.
And here come the St. Louis Cardinals.
It appeared that Edmonds might be remembered for his bats.
And we are going to Game 7.
But it was in that 7th game Jim made a catch for the ages.
Brad Ausmus is at the plate. We've got a couple of guys on, and Jim Edmonds is playing right behind second base.
2 balls and a strike.
I look out there, I see him, and I said, yeah, we're going to burn him right there. Ausmus hit the ball.
In the air, deep left center field.
A couple of guys on base are going to score, and we're going to go and win the ball game. We're going to the World Series.
In the gap! In the gap! In the gap!
And out of nowhere,
Edmonds on the run. Dives, and he's got it! How in the world did he make that play? Oh, my God.
There is no way he catches this ball. Look at the ground he's making up, and the full dive and extension.
Woo, that saved 2 runs.
well, when I start looking at great catches in all of baseball, I don't know what number to put it on, but it's definitely one of the top 4 or 5 I've ever seen.
Guy has been a human highlight reel his entire career.
Thanks in great part to Edmonds' phenomenal play, the Cardinals went on to win the game and the pennant.
He kind of put us out of the World Series that year.
And for the first time since 1987, the St. Louis Cardinals are going to the World Series.
This may be one of the greatest catches of all time in baseball history.
And then there was Ron Swoboda.
Ron, you shocked me a little bit in the World Series when you made what many people are calling the greatest catch ever made in the World Series.
One of the reasons Swoboda's catch caught everyone off guard was Ron's less than stellar reputation with the glove.
There was some belief that my outfielding needed a little bit of work.
When he went after a ball, anything was going to happen.
Oh, they dropped the ball. They collided out there.
I worked hard at trying to keep from embarrassing myself out there. Was it aimed at some play like I made in Game 4 at a crucial point in the game in the 9th inning?
In a word, no. But one day after Tommy Agee made his pair of amazing catches, a one-out ninth-inning rally by the Orioles had Mets fans praying for another miracle.
And the Orioles have the tying run at third now. The lead run at first with one away.
And that's when Brooks Robinson connected.
Straight away for him in the outfield. And there's a drive to right center. Swoboda.
I knew I got a good jump on it, but I never was quite sure I was going to get there. I just laid out.
Ron Swoboda making a sensational catch for the Mets.
If you stop the film, he is laying straight out, foot or so above the ground.
I had to dive for the ball, and when I left the ground, I had no idea that it would hit my glove.
That ball hit me right in the web, and I knew I'd made a hell of a catch.
Here's a grab. Look at that.
Swoboda's catch earned him a place in the hearts of Mets fans everywhere as they went on to capture their first World Series title.
There's moments that are magic, and you can't explain them, and you know, like good magic, sometimes you don't really want to explain it, because if you understand it too much, then the magic goes.
We now return to Prime 9, where in this episode we're featuring the 9 best postseason catches. These weren't just great catches by acrobatic athletes. They took place in the heat of the postseason, where every play is magnified. So let's return once again to October baseball for the 2 best playoff catches we've ever seen. We begin with number 2.
A lot of guys have asked me the question, who's the best baseball player in the world? I have said me many times.
And who could disagree with the Say Hey Kid? Say hey! For he could do it all.
Every time I went on the field, I enjoyed what I was doing. I enjoyed throwing out people. I enjoyed hitting a home run.
Mays went on to hit 660 home runs in his career.
Willie Mays has tied a record 4 home runs in a game.
And in center field, he was simply electric.
I've never seen anybody that could play center field any better than he could. And the things that he used to do in the outfield was just unimaginable.
When I was young, 23, 24, I was very cocky. I believed that I could catch anything that went in the air.
The Say Hey Kid, who never said no.
Willie could catch a ball if you hit it in the Grand Canyon.
Willie Mays races back and hauls down the drive, robbing head of a home run.
A 5-tool player, if ever there was one, Mays earned 12 Gold Glove awards in his career.
He's so great that the famous catch that he made on Wirtz, I hate to say it was almost routine.
The catch took place in the '54 World Series when Mays and the Giants took on a team that won 111 games in Cleveland. Game 1 was tied in the 8th, and runners were on first and second when Mays went far beyond the routine.
Left-hander Vic Wirtz up, and left-hander Don Little ready to go.
When the ball was hit, I wasn't even worried about catching the ball. I was worried about the 2 guys on base.
There's a long drive.
And I was saying to myself, as I'm running, I have to get this ball back into the infield. What's so amazing about that catch is that only one guy advanced.
Of all the great plays that have taken place in postseason history, only one is referred to as the catch.
Willie Mays with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
Inspired by the catch, the Giants swept aside the heavily favored Indians.
And he fouls to Thompson to give the Giants the series.
If he hadn't made the catch, they might have beaten us 4 games in a row rather than, being the other way around.
And Willie Mays gave this crowd an unforgettable sight. The miracle catch on Wirtz in the 8th inning.
Greatest postseason catches. Andy Chavez.
Why did that pop in my mind right away?
You might think that one of the game's biggest names would have made the greatest postseason catch, but that distinction belongs to a bench player on the 2006 Mets.
And he could not have been a better backup player.
Back goes Chavez leaping, and he makes the catch.
And he had a fabulous season in every respect. If he'd been an everyday player, he would have won a Gold Glove.
Oh, Andy Chavez with a jam.
But it's in a Game 7 where you become a legend.
6th inning, Game 7. Mets won, Cardinals won. The lead run at first and 1 out. Scott Rowland will come to the plate.
All right, the pitch to Scott Rowland.
When the ball was hit, you know, it was one of those things as a manager where you just hold your breath.
Hanging along with into left. Did he get enough? Get up, baby.
But as he got close to the fence, I'm like, oh.
Back goes Chavez back near the wall.
You saw Endy kind of running towards it. You kind of had the sense that, you know, this is just kind of the token, let me go after the ball and show the pitcher some respect, like I have a chance to catch it. As it started to unfold, you kind of got the sense of, well, wait a minute, maybe he's got a chance to catch this thing.
Leaping, and he made the catch! He took a home run away from Rowland. Trying to get back to first Edmonds. He's doubled off. Endy Chavez saved the day.
One of the greatest plays you're ever going to see.
The play of the year, the play maybe of the franchise history.
I've never been on the field when a better play in a bigger situation was made.
He went to the apex of his leap and caught it with his elbow up above the fence.
One of the great plays of all time in postseason play, turned in by Endy Chavez. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the only thing that was missing was the fact they didn't win the game.
Still, the miracle of the catch itself cannot be denied, and it stands alone as the prime of R9.
It's arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest catch I've ever seen, and certainly one of the greatest in baseball.
A miraculous play by Endy Chavez.
When Endy made that unforgettable catch and executed the double play in the top of the 6th, it appeared as if the Mets had all the momentum in the world to break the tie and capture their 5th pennant. But 3 innings later, Yadier Molina hit one that not even Endy could reach.
Yadier Molina delivers the biggest hit of the Cardinals season.
And that was soon followed by one of the nastiest pitches you'll ever see.
Curve struck him out looking.
More on that in our greatest strikeout show. Had the Mets gone on to win that LCS and the Fall Classic, they might have erected a statue outside their ballpark in the person of Endy Chavez doing the seemingly impossible. That's our Prime 9. What's yours?